Hello, hi, I'm Zanzi, and welcome back to the Health for Mzansi podcast, episode 95. Proudly brought to you by Health for Mzansi. I'm your host, Joe, and I'm so excited to walk this health and wellness journey with you. Remember, nothing is off limits. For episode 95, we are going big. And when I say that, I mean chatting to SA's youngest female medical doctor, Thakgalo Tibela. Dr. Tibela graduated from Wits University after matriculating at the age of 15 years old. She currently hopes and works towards achieving a better healthcare for all South Africans. Thakgalo, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. And how are you?
I'm good. I'm so glad to finally get hold of you and to have this great conversation with South Africa's youngest female medical doctor. That's a mouthful.
It hasn't even sunk in yet. It's only when people mention it that I'm like, oh yeah, sure. But otherwise, no.
Oh my word. I mean, such a great achievement. But I have to ask you, is being a doctor something you've always wanted to be?
Definitely. You know, when you grow up and you go to preschool and you graduate and they ask you what you want to do when you grow up, for me, it has always been, I want to be a doctor. I didn't even know what it meant to be a doctor back then, but I knew that was something I wanted to do. And when I started understanding the ins and outs, I definitely became sure that that was something I wanted to do. So being a doctor means I get to, help people. And I believe, being healthy and feeling well in general is something we all want. So if I can, help get you there, even though, I may not heal you completely, but if you feel a bit better than when you came, I'm glad. I really think that it's more than a profession for you, right? It just sounds like it's a calling. It sounds like it's the place you are supposed to be. So happy for you. But is there a specific field you would like to specialize in? I know there's so many fields you can go to within the medical field. Is there a field you would like to specialize in? So I'm still navigating that, but there are a few that I'm considering. So I'm currently doing pediatrics, which I'm totally enjoying. I like working with kids. I like working with babies. And I think that is what I might end up in. But I'm also interested in anesthetics. So maybe I might compromise and do pediatric anesthesia or something. Okay. Definitely one of the two. Yeah, apparently you can do it all. So I say go ahead. But I mean, there's no rush, right? You can always decide later, start in a field, end up in another one. Is that how it usually pans out? Yes, for most people. So I've met quite a few people that have started out as surgeons and then they end up even in pediatrics or anesthetics. Because sometimes, especially because we get 6 years of med school and then you get 2 years of internship, then you do your ComServe and then you have to decide what you want to do. So some people like myself, I think maybe I want to be a pediatrician until I actually start working in P's and I'm like, this is not for me. Yeah. There's still time and no one is forced to do anything. That's why some people love being family practitioners, so they end up being GPs. Okay. But it really just depends on how you find it once you are in that field specifically. Thakgalo, we've been speaking about your journey currently and where you find yourself now, where you want to go, but this all started somewhere, right? As a 15-year-old matriculating and applying to universities, I did some digging, I did some research. When some interviews you said it was quite a hassle to get accepted by some universities and you saw that rejection on your application. Do you think it was because of your age that this happened? No. Okay. So honestly, when I look back, it was because of my performance. When I look at my grade 11 results, they are nothing to be desired. And I think most universities base their decision off of that, like UP. So with UP, I applied in May when I was in matric, and by June, they already made the decision. And I understood why they rejected me. So that was one of the motivational factors for me to try work hard in matric so that at least with my matric results, I stand a chance to compete with everyone else who has been consistent at it.
Sure.
But I don't think it was because of my age at all.
Okay. And I think that's such a great point that you're highlighting, because a lot of us think that, you know what, let's just relax, and then in matric we want to like do the most, be the best, and we try to get in where we need to. But it's actually, I got the shock of my life when I also heard, you know what, those grade 11 marks, that's what the universities look at. And then you're like, what? So I think that's quite a good lesson for the youngsters out there. Just looking at today, your day to day, working in the hospital, what are some of the challenges you face as a young female doctor?
I remember when I started out, it wasn't challenges that were external per se. It was just me and how I felt about myself. I really thought, if you see me, I'm really short, I'm really tiny, so that doesn't help at all. And I really thought when people look at me, they wouldn't believe that I'm actually a doctor, I know what I'm doing, and all of that. And I remember my first day, 1st of January, I was on call. And I remember I was in the emergency department, and this woman came in. She had a laceration on her leg, and helped puncture that laceration. And after that, she came to me and she thanked me. She's like, "Oh my God, I'm so grateful that I'm so young. So you're so passionate about the job."
Wow.
That stayed with me because it reinforced that I was meant to be here. That's what I'm meant to do, and it made me want to do even more. I've never really had anyone refuse for me to treat them or anything like that. You would get the occasional, Jan, how old are you type of question. But even when they do find out how old I am, it's never awkward. They never look at me differently. And that's something I really do appreciate. So I can't really say I've had challenges as such.
Okay.
I mean, it's more so certain departments, like in orthopedics, for example, where you have to deal with limbs, broken limbs and things like that, and having to carry those limbs.
Oh, yes.
Is a bit problematic. But other than that, I haven't really experienced many challenges.
Well, I'm so happy for your positive experience, and you just seem like such a positive person. So I'm sure there wouldn't be any challenges there. But Thakgalo, if you could speak or reach one young aspiring medical doctor out there for the Youth Month, what would your words of inspiration be to them?
First of all, medicine is made us to be this glamorous profession, but it's really not. Once you get it, you realize that it's more than just what you see. There's a lot of tears, a lot of breakdowns, questioning whether this is the right profession for you. But if you just like me and it plays in your heart that you have to be a doctor, you want to be a doctor, then you have to find that strength within you somewhere to keep pushing. It really requires someone who is patient, someone who can talk to people. Because I find that people go into medicine because, it's made us to be this profession that it's not, but also because it's one of the professions that pays quite with other professions. So go into medicine because of other reasons other than wanting to help people. It is not the profession for you. Because you will get tested and challenged all the way from med school until you die.
Yeah.
So you need to really want to be a doctor, because sometimes you'll find patients who are just rude to you, patients who don't want you to help them. You'll have to deal with babies that are really sick. So you really need to have the heart for it. But if you really want it, if you work hard, start from high school. If you're still in high school, it's much better. But if not, you realize that you wanted to be a doctor while you're in your 30s and your 40s, it's never too late. If this is something you really want to do, whatever you put your mind to, you can achieve. I realized that when, like I said, in matric, when I found out I needed to do better to get into med school, I put my mind to it. I started working hard. I studied even on weekends, holidays, you name it. And that has really benefited me quite a lot. So if you really want something in life, you have to put in the work, and you'll surely achieve anything that you set your mind to.
Thank you for just being a living testimony of the commitment and the dedication. Proves in the fact that I struggled to get hold of you because you're just so dedicated to the job. But thank you so much for your time, Thakgalo, and thank you for what you're doing as young and as small as you are. I think we should not forget that dynamite comes in small packages. Thank you for joining this week's episode of the Health for Mzansi podcast. For more on our chat, check out healthformzansi.co.za. Now remember, if you are in a medical jam or just curious about some health and wellness trends, you can send an email to hello@healthformzansi.co.za or send a WhatsApp to 076 132 0454. Yeah, we don't blue tick. So there you have it, gals and guys. Anything is possible no matter what age or who you are. I hope the chat with Dr. Tibela inspired you to make a difference in your own special way. Till next time, keep well, stay healthy. Signing out, your girl Jo.